G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Farming Simulator 22 on Haut-Beyleron. I'm sure I am butchering the pronunciation of that name, but as you can see, our grass field is still growing. We haven't actually progressed a day since the previous episode, but I think to kick things off, we need to make some money. So we are going to jump into the contract menu here, and we have 3 fertilizing contracts available. Field 11. Highest price, and we'll just have a look on the map. That is pretty close to home, so I would say for 6,000 euros that is not too bad. We will take that contract, we'll go get that done, and that'll be a good start for us for today, and hopefully we can maybe make a little bit more money after that. But any money that comes our way right now, it's got to be good money. So we'll go ahead, we'll do that, and then we can start thinking about what we're going to do with the rest of September. I mean, we might just do this and rest, and then that way we can get into October and start processing our own field rather than relying on other farmers who need hire. We really need to get our own field mowed and baled and wrapped, and then we can think about selling that, and anything in between doing fertilizing contracts and processing and selling our own material is going to be a bonus. But we would like to start off by making some money, because we've got a 600 euro debt which we need to pay off. Now, I am very terrible at judging the working width of this thing here, but I'll chuck this on a time lapse and we will get into this and we'll make some money very quickly. Okay, so we're nearly done with this contract here. We just got a little bit more to do. We have missed a few spots, but lucky for us, we don't have to do the perfect job here. We just have to do whatever it takes to get the contract complete, and it's going to save us a little bit of fertilizer. So there we go, job complete. Still heaps to do, but we will collect that, nearly £6,000, and that might seem like chump change now compared to what we will be achieving in the future, because we're not just here to survive, we are going to try and thrive here. So we will be producing all of the productions available, or the majority of them. Certainly be looking at getting some animals in the future, but we need to start small, we need to start light, and we just need to make enough money to keep us afloat, and then eventually we will be absolutely creaming it, and we're going to get some production buildings and some animals. Probably going to start off by trying to get some chickens as soon as we can afford our next field. We'll try and look at getting some wheat or whatever it is that chickens need to eat. We can start producing eggs because they are very profitable. But in the meantime, we'll head on back to our farm. Okay, well, good morning. It is now October, so our field here of grass is ready to harvest. And we must always check the used market sale, just in case there is a good bargain that we can pick up. Any tools that we may or may not need, always good to get them at a discounted price. And contract wise, heaps of ploughing, a little bit of weeding, a little bit of fertilizing. We'll look at those a bit later, but for now we want to get into a bit of mowing. So let's get our tractor. We'll cruise on over to our friendly neighbour over here, and we'll attach the mowers, and we'll start processing what we've got. We need to get this processed, chopped up, windrowed, baled, you name it. We've got to do everything all today, and then we can start thinking about trying to sell it. So we'll just ditch our front loader and our front weight here, and we'll grab our front mower and our rear mower, and we'll get into the field. We'll start processing, and hopefully won't take too long, but we'll have to see how it goes here. So let's get into that. Well, we've got our front and rear mowers all set up, good to go. Let's start processing. We are going to try and cut as much as possible, which is why I have my left wing at the back here overhanging as far as we can, because every extra few litres that we can get of grass means extra money for us in the long run. And we are running at a very slow pace here. 4 kilometers per hour is not really what I was hoping for. I thought we might be moving a bit quicker than that. But the weather forecaster is rain coming this afternoon. That's around lunchtime. Hopefully we can have this job done by then. Not at this pace though. I think we're going to be a bit strapped for time if that's the case. I don't really know why we're running at such a low rate. Possibly to do with the tractor needing service. Might have lost a few too many horsepower to run both, but we're running much smoother now that we've lifted the front mower. But it does leave us with this little strip in the middle. That's not really a problem if we're moving basically at 4 times the speed of what we were. It's worth us coming back around to redo that. So I feel like this is another process that we can just put onto our time lapse. We'll get the job done. We'll have to come back through and clean up these little bits that we're missing in the middle, because as I said before, any extra litres that we can gain, it's all money at the end of the day, and we need money, and we need it as much as possible, as fast as possible. So I'll see you at the other end, eh? Well, we're pretty much at the end of it. We've done a fairly good job. You can see the part of the hill I'm on now has barely anything compared to the majority of our fields, so I think what we should do is probably grab ourselves a plough. Whether we buy it or whether we lease it just depends on what the prices are, but there's not much left for us to mow in terms of what we own anyway. I mean, all the extra boundary stuff is just extra cash for us, or at least trying to make sure we bale as much as possible. So I think we've done a pretty good job with what we've got. Just want to run around with the mower, make sure we haven't missed any corners or any parts that might be worth taking. At the end of the day, it's all worth taking, but I will definitely be looking at investing in either renting or purchasing a plough. Plough will come in handy for any future fields that we do buy. There's a bit of wasted land here that we're not really getting the most out of, but that looks to be the majority. There's just that little bit there. We'll grab that, and then I think we'll just grab our windrower. So we'll drop off our mowers at our friendly neighbour's yard here, and we'll grab the rowers and we'll get it all ready for baling. So there we are, we've all got the windrowing done, and it actually looks like we've got more than I would have pictured at the beginning when you just looked at it as cut grass on the land. It actually looks like we've got quite a fair bit here. I'm going to estimate that we've got about, I don't know, I think 12 bales, just judging by the looks of it. It's almost impossible to judge, but we're done with the windrower here, so we'll fold that up, and we'll head over, we'll grab the baler, and hopefully, so this is a baler that also wraps at the same time as producing the bale, which is quite a handy thing to have. And then we've got the auto stacker, or bale stacker as it were. So we'll just dump this off and we'll grab our baler and we'll just get into a bit of baling. Hopefully it's going to be worth our while. We really need some good production here. We need to make the most of what we've got. So at the moment we're at 125 centimeter for bale. We'll just go into the garage menu here and we'll have a look to make sure that we've got the right function happening for the machinery that we have. So this thing here can carry up to 180 centimeters. So I think we're pretty good. So we'll change the baler to make 180 centimeter bales. I know there's already been a couple of time lapses in here, but I don't want to time lapse everything that's necessary. But jobs like this that take a long time, I think it's just best to get them done as a time lapse. go, we're nearly at the end of it now. We've got pretty much a large percentage of what we've got. We've just got a few scraps we need to pick up. I didn't know why we're not picking that part up, but not to worry too much. So we've got a few bales here on the field, which is good. It's all good money at the end of the day. Still a few scraps that we need to pick up, and there's actually a little bit up here near this grass bale. You may have seen in there that I didn't quite figure out that the baler can only wrap a certain amount compared to what the baler loader can actually pick up. So now I've ended up with 2 bales of grass which I can't wrap unfortunately, but I need to figure out what to do with those. Do we keep them and we keep them for the sheep that we will inevitably be getting, or do we just try and sell them as grass by themselves? Well, that's all the baling done, so we've got a few good bales wrapped up and ready to be loaded onto the auto baler. Having a look at it now, I do kind of feel like I could have just used a bale fork instead of purchasing a auto stacker, but this thing's definitely going to do a much better job of stacking bales than what I would have done. I am no genius when it comes to stacking, but you know, I would have got it done either way. So by the looks of things, we've got about, I don't know, 6 or 7 good silage bales ready to go, and it would have been more, but we've just ended up with these 2 bales which are just grass. So like I said before, what am I going to do with those? Like, selling grass is almost worthless in its pure form. It's best to make sure you've got something else on the go. You know, even hay is worth more than just grass, and the only difference is that we would have to ted it to get to that. So we've got 7 bales of silage here, and we'll see if we can pick up these 2 grass bales. I don't really know what we're going to do. The bale loader allows a different, only 1 bale size at a time. Well, not too bad for the first harvest. Like, we've learned a few things. We've learned that the tractor doesn't quite have enough horsepower to run both mowers at one time, which is very unfortunate. I am considering to sell one of the mowers, probably more like the rear mower, because if we keep the front mower we can just attach the baler and we can mow and bale at the same time. And this spreader it's just short of being able to do that little section of land there. I think we'll get a plow and we'll plow the area on the hill here, which is just wasted land. But good thing, fertilizing, it just doesn't take too long, doesn't use too much fert, and it's definitely worth doing because it gives us a lot more yield when it does come to mowing next time, which is good for us. Absolutely worth every cent when it comes to this. Anything we don't use, well, we just use it fertilizing someone else's field. So the yard's a little bit of a mess. I say the yard. I'll try and get the front weight here attached, and no, looks like we're on the wrong side of it. Okay, so we'll go and dump our fertilizer spreader off next to the house. We'll grab our front weight. I think we'll call it a day from here. So not too bad. I wish I had bought a bigger field. Now that I've actually processed it, we would have had a lot more silage had it been a bigger field, and worth spending the money on all of the equipment that we have. But we'll just pack up the tractor, and I think we'll just check our fertilization, or what do you call it, fermentation of these silage. Yeah, so they're 5,500 each, which is It's going to be okay. But I think we'll call that a day from here. So any suggestions that you have, please do comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next episode.